What's up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We are back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. We've got a killer guest today and a killer topic. We're talking all about Facebook ads and paid lead generation. We've got some fun stuff to get into. We've got a fun little thing to get into at the top of the show because Facebook, in their infinite, omnipotent, ever-present wisdom, has made some changes that we will discuss and break apart. And Greg, I'm sure, has some yelling and some profanity. So please, if you are listening to this in front of your children, or if you are babysitting for some reason instead of lead generating, I don't know why you'd be doing that, but please stop and put in some earbuds because Greg is about to have some things to say. Speaking of Greg, the junior grandmaster himself, let's bring him in officially. He is in the co-pilot seat where he so belongs. Greg McDaniel. Greg, what's up today?
Matt, what up, Playboy? God, it's going to be good. We got Grant on the line with us, dude. The pre-show was epic shit right off the bat. This is going to just, I'm fired up, man. Some of the stuff Facebook, as Matt had alluded to, is epically stupid in my so humble opinion, because you guys know I'm a very, very humble individual. But I feel violated in so many bad ways, Matt, already. But something that is not violating me is actually, I was doing some cold calls, actually, dude. You're going to get a kick out of this. I was doing some cold calls a couple days ago, and this guy picks up the phone. I do my little spiel and everything else. He goes, "Oh, dude, I'm an agent too." I'm like, "Oh, cool." So we started bantering back and forth, like, "Hey, do you have upcoming listings?" Blah blah blah. It's like, Greg, you don't know me, but I've been listening to your podcast, and we were actually talking about you on tour today about how we like your show. I'm like, "No shit, man, that's awesome." Hung up the phone. I'm like, "Holy Christ, this world is small," but it's awesome, man. People are reaching out, and you know, it's just we're changing people's lives one agent at a time, and we appreciate all of our fans, and thank you guys for talking about us. If it's good, if you don't, please shut the fuck up.
All right.
But Matt, before I get off, I'll get rocking and rolling too much. By the way, Sandy and Larry, aloha to you guys. I see you guys on the show right now. Great hanging with you guys and talking. We had an epic McDaniel challenge last night with them. They are amazing. They're doing great stuff out in Hawaii.
Good. Yeah, beautiful place. All right, guys. So let's get to the rant and get to the information and bring in the guest. In what order, I have no idea how that's going to go in. But first of all, let's welcome to the show Grant Wise. Grant, what's up, man?
What's up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for having me on here.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. All right. So Grant, kind of share a little bit. Just give everybody kind of the 60-second bio of who you are, where you are, and what you do, and then we'll dive into some of the stuff.
So what up, everybody? Like they said, Grant Wise. I am a Facebook marketing master, founder of Real Estate Marketing University, Modern Agent Mastery. We specialize in teaching you guys how to grow your business through paid Facebook advertising. It's a little less than 60 seconds, but that's what it is. Simple as that.
That was easy.
Right, so what's the changes that Facebook made that's got Greg's panties already firmly in a wad?
I think that they've got everybody's panties in a wad. I mean, like, I'm kind of pissed off about it, but I'm not as mad as Greg was whenever I first told him. But Facebook, guys, if you're out there right now and you're marketing your business using Facebook's ad platform, something that you should be very, very familiarized with is something that you already have to adhere to. But there's a little organization known as the American Civil Liberties Group or organization or whatever they call themselves. And they've been fighting back and forth with Facebook for the last year-ish. And they believe that given how just profoundly amazing Facebook ad platform is, they're targeting specifically, that you could go out there and you could discriminate who you wanted to work with based on race, based on credit, based on financial wherewithal, based on any of those different types of things. So what Facebook has very recently done, like literally we just saw this yesterday, is they are now making you certify if you are in real estate, if you are in credit, if you are in the employment fields, they are making you certify that you will not discriminate in your advertising. And this means that you won't create ads that create any type of discrimination at like the post level, like what you write and what pictures, videos you use. This goes deeper. This means that you cannot discriminate. You cannot leverage Facebook's ad platform for what it is, right? The ability to target people and is like the best thing about it. You cannot discriminate in your ads. You can't say that you only want to work with Spanish-speaking people. You can't say that you only want to work with English-speaking people. You cannot say that you only want to work with people that are men or women or gay or straight or fill in the blanks. You cannot discriminate. They will shut your ad account off. They will kick you
Well,
off of their platform.
say in the ads or target in the back end of Facebook ads. Those are two very different things. So what's your feeling on how deep it goes?
I think that we're in the beginning phases of this, right? So it's going to be hard for Facebook to track until they start tracking it. And I think they probably spent some time. Like yesterday, we had an agent submit an advertisement, and they were hit with a notice, and it said, hey, this looks like a real estate advertisement. Before we will allow you to proceed, you must adhere to our new policy about non-discrimination. And you have to look back into the advertisements. Now, something that we teach through Modern Agent Mastery is a lot about targeting, what to do, what not to do. We don't ever teach people to target financial demographics because the information is not 100% verified, so it can actually hurt the way that your ads perform. We don't ever teach people to market based on language. We do suggest, like, hey, if you only speak English and you can't work with somebody that speaks Spanish, maybe you shouldn't have them included in your advertisements. But I think that it will go deeper. It will go further. Facebook, and I think Mark put out a manifesto like today or yesterday about divisiveness and about the things that are happening in this country right now. And they're a platform that was built to unite, not to divide. And these new policies definitely reflect that. Look, this doesn't affect everybody, right? If you're out there and you sell product, you sell keychains, you sell ketchup, whatever the hell it is that you sell, this isn't necessarily something that you have to worry about. But if you work and operate in regulated industries, you better pay attention to what you're doing on the back end, because unfortunately, the more specific you get, Facebook's going to view that as discrimination. And you are more likely to get booted from the platform as opposed to being accepted on it. And understand that just because you paid Facebook money doesn't mean they give a shit about you. All right, you've got to understand that. Just because you get Facebook $10 today, doesn't matter. From a user standpoint, that's what they care about. Every decision they make is reflected by the belief that they only care about their end user. I spent $150,000 on one ad account that got shut down for like this much of a violation, and it's still not activated. I had to go do other things to get different ad accounts in place. They don't care about how much money you spend. They care about their end user, and that will always be the case. So you're kind of at the mercy to Big Brother here in a lot of different instances.
So, Grant, I got to tell you, this is epically fucking stupid. I mean, right. On proportions that we can't even measure with today's metrics, because if you have to be so politically correct, even in the ads that you have to deliver, dude, fuck your fucking feelings. Okay, so I can't speak your language. I'm not your creed. Okay, then that's just the reality of it. But I mean, if you have to be, that's like saying you have to be PC on every platform in every aspect of your life. You can't ever have your own opinion because you might fucking offend somebody.
Right.
Damn
it. I think that you can go down the rabbit hole and absolutely get pissed about it, because the ability to target people based on user data is what makes Facebook's ad platform so great.
Yeah.
So I think that if you run in there and you start breaking it, you're going to piss people off. Your cost is going to get driven up because not as many people are doing the things that make Facebook what it is. I think we're in the very beginning of this. And one of the ways that I've told a lot of our clients to look at this is like, look, you're already legally obligated to abide by non-discrimination, right? In your business, you're prohibited from violating any of those civil rights acts, fair housing, Americans with disabilities, equal credit. You're already forced to kind of abide by those non-discrimination type laws. So think of it like that in Facebook. As much as we don't like it, there's literally not one damn thing that we can do about it. It doesn't matter that if every real estate agent in the United States of America got together and wrote Zucks a letter and said, hey, we don't like this. He's going to say, I don't really care what you like and what you don't like. He's going to go ask his users who would agree with his statements right now. And unfortunately, that's kind of what we're at the mercy of. I think it's hurtful. I think it really is hurtful, but
that's because everyone's got too big of feelings, and you got to get your knuckles bruised a few times. Be open to the reality that life isn't always fair. Not everyone's going to want to do business with you. Dude, there's people that don't want to do business with me. I'm fine with that. You know what? But I feel violated because I'm not getting every advertisement pointed at me now.
Right.
So take that one. I'm violated. I feel horrible. I'm in a bad mood already, Matt.
Yeah. All right, so we do have a good question, and then we'll dive into some other stuff. So Robert Haddad says, I speak Arabic. Can I make an ad advertising to help Arabs and exclude folks that don't speak Arabic with real estate, or is that discrimination? I would say that probably you may not be prosecuted as actively, but I would think that definitely falls into that category. Depends on how they want to enforce it.
Easy language barrier, and again, this is very new, so it's hard for me until I go out there and start trying to break rules to figure out exactly what they're going to be taboo against. But whenever you go to submit an advertisement, if it looks like a real estate advertisement, you're going to get prompted with a bar that says, hey, we have these new policies, and you have to certify that you're going to comply with their new policies. And when you open that up, it's going to be, I think, 3 paragraphs, and it's going to say, you agree to non-discriminate, blah, 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 blah. And cool. All right. Got it. Whatever. Right. But if I speak Arabic and I don't speak English, right? You go out there and you write your posts and advertisements in Arabic. The people that can't read it just can't read it. Now, while you may not limit who you're targeting the ad to, like, because typically we would only target the advertisement to people that spoke Arabic, the people that you actually want to help. And if we're trying to stay in compliance with what Facebook is saying, we might not target so heavily, but marketing is messaging, right? It's about what's read in the post that you write. It's about the copy. And if obviously what you've written is in Arabic, then
yeah, it's one of those things where even if you're able to take the right message, right? I mean, you still want to have like half of success in marketing is in the list, right? So you have the right message and you have the right market, right? If the more you can refine both of those things and pair them up, the more effective the marketing will be. Essentially, Facebook is potentially taking away the ability to narrow that worldwide list down to that smallest potential group of people that you either want to work with or you're trying to attract to that house because you believe that's the demographic profile that will buy that specific home. So anyway, we'll get into all that stuff because that gets into the different types of ads that you can run, and I want to dive into all that stuff. But that's a very interesting thing to keep an eye on because that's, I mean, we obviously don't want to get ad accounts shut down, but it does just very quickly as an aside demonstrate just how much we are at the mercy of someone else's platform and how important it is to use Facebook and tools like these to build real relationships with people so that when you take the tool out of the equation, the relationship remains, right?
So Grant, quick question for you. What's the worst possible outcome here? I mean, so Facebook needs their ad rev. So if people stop, on a mass scale, stop advertising on Facebook, do you think that they would roll this back, or do you think that, is it going to be actually something that they're saying this for a PR play and a CYA?
It's again one of those things. Like, I don't think that Facebook takes a lot of the decisions that they make lightly. I think that they do get in there and kind of measure the effects. But we live in a time right now. We live in a society that, whether we like it or not, does get butthurt frequently. And so, whether we like that or not, whether we get all pissed off about it or not, like the reality of the situation is X. Right. So as a business owner, entrepreneur, as somebody that gets punched in the mouth frequently, what are you going to do? Right? Are you going to turn the cheek, or are you going to say, no, screw this, I'm not marketing on Facebook? I think that we have to continue to test and see what we can get away with. We have to walk the line and figure out where is too much and where isn't enough. And that's something that we do on a daily basis. We spend 12, 16 hours a day as an office, plus we have people overseas. So we're practicing on Facebook 24 hours a day, learning what you can do and what you can't do. And I think that if you're out there listening to this right now, you're going to be able to go out there and you're going to be able to continue, and you're going to be able to continue. And wherever direction Facebook goes with this, whether this was just to pacify the American Liberties Association, Civil Liberties Association, or whether this was like, hey, we're not going to put up with this, you should look at your marketing and you should analyze it to fit the standard of whatever platform it is that you're using, right? If you go out there and cold call somebody, you can practically say whatever the hell you want to, right? If you go door knock somebody, you can say whatever the hell you want to. If you go out and send postcards, you can say whatever it is that you want to. And you've been able to do that to an extent, right? We've always been policed by Facebook's terms of service. We've always had ad guidelines that we had to follow. I think they're just getting a little more strict, much like, the SEO space when it started to get really crowded, your costs started to rise. I think that a couple of ways that this could go.
The bottom line is that it could go that direction. You just have to advertise to everybody, or you have to advertise to people that you would not choose to advertise. You have to include groups, or you just have to.
At the end of the day, realize that if you want to be the Zillow, the Trulia, the Realtor.com, if you want to be the lead generation company, you are always going to deal with leads that you might not have wanted to deal with. That's just the fact of the matter. And this is no different. You might have to broaden your marketing horizons just a little bit. Marketing is messaging. Write Facebook copy that's directed at the person you want to do business with. Use your images to signify, because the person that wants to buy a $200,000 house doesn't matter what language they speak. The person that wants to buy $1 million house is far different than that person. Doesn't matter what language they speak. Marketing's messaging, and in this case, the product is the house, and let that thing do its talking for you.
Yeah. Okay, Grant. So do a 10,000 foot level really quickly. We have a few folks that are trying to catch up when they weren't here in the beginning. Bullet point at 10,000 foot level, what we just went over, so that everyone's on the same playing field, please.
Facebook's released new policies that prohibit you from discriminating in your advertising in housing, in employment, and credit industries. If you're a real estate agent, you're marketing on Facebook, do not discriminate in your advertisements and do not discriminate in your ad targeting. Remember, these are already rules that you are legally bound to. Already rules that you cannot discriminate. Equal housing, equal opportunity, all those different types of things. It's no different. We just have a new platform that's enforcing policies they've not enforced in the past.
Okay, so guys, if you are having a problem with this, if you're butthurt about it for some reason, it is not Grant's fault. It's not our fault. Go look at Facebook. Go bitch slap them and take out your anger over there. Let's move forward with the fucking show.
That's right.
Yeah, I definitely didn't do this. I promise.
Grant did not pass the law.
Oh my God. All right, so Grant, let's dive in. First of all, tell people where they can connect with you so they can learn more about you and what you guys do, and then we'll dive into some content.
Yeah, for sure. Look, guys, if you wanna connect with me on a deeper level, go to likegrantwise.com, LIKE grantwise.com, and you'll be able to connect with me any way that you want to from there and see a lot of content we put out, see a lot of training we have, those different types of things.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, let's start with the basics and some things that beginners might be able to take away, and then we'll get into maybe some more advanced stuff. So first of all, when you think of Facebook advertising, when you first bring on a new client, let's just call them, the average individual agent. They want to get homes sold. They want to get more clients. Do you start with Facebook ads to market themselves as an agent to pick up clients, or do you leverage like existing listings and things like that and start going after marketing properties first to kind of get the ball rolling with new clients and new leads?
Right. Yeah. So I'm a paid ads guy, right? I'm a believer that you're going to pay in money or you're going to pay in time. Right. You as an agent can go out there and you can do everything that you want to without spending a penny. You're just going to invest your time. You're never going to get back over the next 6, 8, 9 months, whatever. You can take the time play. That's totally cool. If you pay the ad bill, you're going to get results immediately. And that's what we're a proponent of. So when people first log into our platform, we teach them right off the bat a very specific strategy that I call the Red Rooster, right? You're simply committing to provide a list of homes that might be available in your local marketplace. So we teach people very specifically how to build out the landing pages so you can collect your name and email address. We teach you how to build out a squeeze page so that you can collect phone number, physical address, and you can ask them if they would like a free CMA, right? So then you're collecting more data, more information. Send them to a thank you page, tell them thank you for doing all that. What you're committing in that process to providing is simply a list of homes, right? If we look back in the history of real estate and the history of real estate marketing, what do most people want? They want a list of homes that are available so they know what they can choose from, right? So all we're doing is adapting an old world offer with a new world strategy. If you pay the ad bill, if you pay for traffic, right? If you put a little post out that says, "Hey, attention marketplace, do you know anybody looking to purchase a home this year? Follow this link. I've created a free report of homes for sale under X. Oh, by the way, some of these homes even qualify for special financing programs. Follow here." Simple post with 3 pictures of houses that may be for sale. One of the things that's going to happen is you're going to start getting names, email addresses, phone numbers, physical addresses for anywhere between $3 and $5 a lead, right? And that's that's literally, like, if you log into my platform, that's the first thing that I'm going to teach you how to do. I'm going to teach you how to use the Red Rooster to become the top dog in your marketplace. And I'm not a proponent of going out there and getting likes and getting shares and getting comments as a marketing strategy in the beginning, because that's no different than what we've done, right? When you set out, and I'm not knocking you guys in any way, shape, or form, because I know that you guys are some callers and you do a gangster job at what you do. That's awesome.
Gangster.
But if you look at a new guy that's just getting started that doesn't have an SOI, if you look at a new guy that's just getting started that can't really sell, if you look at a new lady that's just jumping into the business and she's got a lot of call reluctance and she doesn't want to go knock on the doors because she feels like it's damaging to her safety or whatever reason, what are they left with to do, right? And what the industry is now pouring on them is they're saying, hey, just do what in the hell we've always done. Just do it on Facebook, right? Just go talk a shitload and put that on Facebook, and surely somebody's going to do business with you. And I'm apt to disagree in a huge, huge way. because an organic Facebook marketing strategy still takes 6 to 8 months to really take hold, to really get a foothold in an industry. And I'm not about that. I think today we've been gifted a platform that allows us to condense what used to take years into months. So where the single real estate agent that goes to go out and grow their business tries to spend 2 or 3 years building up a business and doing it organically, when you come in and you start paying the ad bill, you got inbound systems in place. So you're not waking up looking at who you can chase. You're waking up at looking at who's kind of chasing you, right? You have those inbound systems. You condense 2 to 3 years of hard work into 2 to 3 months, which is like I was telling you guys pregame. First client, 6 months, 3 deals. Talks to GW for an hour, starts implementing some strategies, 18 houses in 90 days, right? Who do you want to be? And first so I was telling you, first guy, I was telling you guys, there's a very specific type of person that gets it and understands it. And I think probably the easiest way that I heard this explained once was Ryan Dice, the guy's CEO of Digital Marketer. He says, how do you buy rice, right? Do you go out and do you buy a field? Do you till it up? Do you plow it up? Do you plant the rice? Do you water it and you wait until the rice is kind of grown up so you can harvest it? Or you just go to the store and pay $3 for a bag of rice, right? You go to the store and you buy it. It's the same principle.
Well, in the analogy in that is traffic.
Traffic can grow your business faster than you've ever been able to. And I'm not saying that the other stuff doesn't work. I'm just saying figure out how you can build it faster, right? Figure out how you can build it leaner. You all, if you're watching this right now, you live in a marketplace where you have 1,000 competitors at least. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to stand out? Is speed going to help you stand out? Because it's helped us stand out. It's helped every agent we talk to stand out.
It's a pretty devastating drug.
Is modernized?
Wait, go back, Grant. But just disregard the comment from Greg. But what do you mean by speed?
Yeah.
Speed in terms of getting your lead flow up and running faster.
Yeah, you can't work this hard. Greg, man, I love you to death. I've seen your stuff. You're out there, you're grinding, you're hustling. I see you all over the place every day, but you get tired and you have to go to sleep.
Oh, God, yeah. Are you kidding me?
And you got to get the 4 hours. If you're Superman, you got to get the 5 hours. You got to get 6. You got to get 8, whatever. While you're sleeping, my systems are in place working for me.
I love that. See, my Fitbit, 7 hours, 23 minutes last night, getting my sleep.
There we go. And while you were sleeping, the agents that are growing their business using paid traffic have systems that were in place the 7 hours and 23 minutes.
Right.
And they generated an extra couple of leads of people that wanted to communicate with them first thing in the morning. And that's what I mean by speed. I love networking. I love the old call strategy, right? I love getting out there and knocking doors, right? It worked. It still works. There's people building massive companies, right? You guys are doing it.
Right.
But I'm saying is like, you can't work this hard. Nobody can.
I'm 100% on board with you on this. I mean, Grant, you cannot sustain a growth pattern like this. I mean, I am freaking exhausted. I mean, I had a blowout with my team last Friday going, look, assholes, we got to get shit straight here. I can't just be the only one doing stuff around here. And I mean, they heard it because they see what I'm doing. And, I'm always looking to time hack and life hack myself. And, people need to understand to pay a few extra bucks to get quality leads that are looking for what you have to offer, the services and everything you have to provide. It is invaluable. Yes, guys. I mean, Matt, what is it? 33 takes average of 33 online leads to get one active client or one escrow or something like that in 8 months or whatever the numbers are. But imagine starting now, building that up to 8 months, and then you have an overflow of constant clients that are ready, that have been nurtured, that are ready to go. And Grant, if my numbers are off, please correct me. But that's what we have seen in the past. Is that what you're seeing with your clients?
So statistically speaking, you see that you can close, if you're a closer, if you do good, an average of 1 to 3% of the total number of leads you can generate. So it becomes a numbers game on a monthly basis, right? However many leads you can generate, you generate 500 to 1,000 leads a month. Statistically speaking, you should be able to close 1 to 3% of that initial lead flow. But then you look at solving another issue, Greg, which most people have, most everybody I've ever met in the real estate industry, consistency, because you're fucking tired.
So true.
Keep doing this shit. And so when you stop for a week, your business stops for 3, right? You stop for a month, your business is done for a quarter, right? You can't sustain that. And if you go out there and you generate, even if you just generate 100 leads, a deal a month, right? 300 leads. What you're doing is you're building a pipeline. You've got another 40 to 60% of those leads that you generate will do business with somebody in the next 6 to 8 months. You just have to figure out if they're going to do business with you.
Yeah, and this goes back to Matt always hounding me and browbeating me with a very long, thick stick and saying, Greg, you need systems. And that is a very, very true fact. And I accept, Matt, I concede, you win, systems. But I'm just not going to put them into my business because I like to see you off.
Like, you'll fully admit I'm right and then fully reject anything that I just said. But that's okay, because I'm not offended, because I love you. That is our relationship. There's a lot of me yelling at you for being wrong and a lot of you cheerfully going off and just being Greg, which is fine.
Just skipping through fields of roses and dandelions, like, woohoo, I don't care.
All right, well, let's get into the mechanics. Let's get into the tactics a little bit. So let's get started with just how can, let's say somebody wants to kind of dip their toe in and just see how Facebook ads work. How would you recommend they get started? What's kind of the simplest thing that they can do just to start going down that road?
Log into your ads manager and just start looking around. Like, guys, you can go to YouTube and learn how to do Facebook ads for free.
Yeah.
Fact. Where a lot of people win with us is that we teach a very specific strategy with, like I was talking about. All we did was took all of the old world offers that always converted and always did well, and we brought them into the Facebook world and said, okay, this is how you do those things you've always done on Facebook, right? Very simple. So look back in the history of your business. What did you do that worked? That was traditional, that was maybe cold calling, or maybe something you said on the phone, or something on the door, or look at that postcard mailer that worked, whatever. What worked? Say that on Facebook, and then go out and just target the advertisement. All right, you want to give people somewhere to go, somewhere to give you their information, and then you want to have a decent conversion strategy in place for whenever you do get the name, email address, phone number, physical address, whatever. Right. So practical, tactical. Look at listings that you have in your market. Does anybody on here know how Zillow got rich? Anybody in here understand how that whole thing went down, right? They took and leveraged your hard work.
Oh yeah,
and
the listings.
They put it online, and then they started selling back leads. Okay, so what could we learn from that situation, right? Because Zillow's starting to advertise on Facebook. They're using custom audience features. They're leveraging their database to go out there and continually market on Facebook. Cool. They're still not doing this. They're still not marketing listings on Facebook the way that you have the opportunity to. Go into your market. If you don't even have listings right now, borrow somebody. Say, hey, can I market your listing for free? Right? Build a 2-page website for your listing, right? The first page is a picture of the house and a name and email address opt-in form. That's it. Simple as that. Give you their information, take them to a squeeze page, and let them see the house. Put all the pictures on a page, or put a video out there, whatever. And then say, hey, if you like this house, you want to see it, call me. If you didn't like this house, but maybe you'd like a list of houses that were similar or priced similar to this one, click this button and go to your website, or go to some other pages that you create that ask for more information, whatever.
Now, do you have that built for people to buy? Is that one of your products that you sell?
Currently, no, right? We're in the middle of developing software, and a lot of people don't know that we're working on that, but we're working on being able to offer that as a service inside of a software. Currently, what we teach, for those of you that are listening to this, you can go to a software called Instapage. It's probably the easiest software that I've seen to use. You can build these landing pages in like 15 minutes. And then I was actually talking to, I think it was Travis Tom, who just came out with his elevated REM sites. Those single property websites look amazing and absolutely accomplish the goal, everything that I'm just talking about.
So there's a few pulls things in from the actual IDX feed, so you don't have to build the page.
Theirs doesn't, so you still have to build a page with pictures that you have, just like if you were going to build it on Instapage. You have to do the work. But what are you trying to do, right? Are you trying to have the dinner conversation, or are you trying to sell somebody a property?
Right. Yeah, you just want to start a conversation. Yeah, so that makes sense. All right, so the basics of the process, just so people get the flow here, is you run a Facebook ad that goes to a simple 2-page site. The first page is the opt-in page. It gives them just enough, like the picture of the house and the name and email, so they go, okay, well, this is legit. I'm going to put my name and email in, and then you give them on the second page, you give them the information that you want them to have about the house. You're not trying to sell the house on that page. You just want to give them what they expect to find. Pictures, video, that'd be a great place for like a 360 walkthrough tour or something if it's your listing. So something like that you can put as like the
Matt, You can also get permission from the listing broker if it's not your property. I was actually having a conversation with another agent about that today. If I went to Grant, I said, Grant, you got a beautiful home at 123 Main Street on a lake. Can I do a 360 video of it showcasing it? And then I would love to do an interview with you about the property. You know, I mean, do you see that as a probability? And we'll get into 360 videos as well, by the way.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if Grant's frozen, but Grant, what do you,
No,
what do
I
you
got
think
it.
about that?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
going
no,
to someone else's listing and just, I mean, it's
Great.
really
Yeah,
a
yeah.
matter of permission.
Absolutely. Call up your associate sitting in the office next to you and say, hey, can I market your listing for free? I'm gonna promote it on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's a
And if we still go,
if they say no, hang up the phone and call somebody else.
yeah,
If you talk to 5 people that said no, you can't market my property for free because I'm an MLS agent and the MLS is going to sell it, so don't mess with me. Call a 6th agent, call a 7th, call a 10th. Just keep calling people until somebody says yes. Don't like do this for an hour and then give up. Like work. Holy shit, you got to work, but work and borrow a listing, easily borrow a listing and build out that process.
So something that I did when I first got my when I first went live before 360 and everything else, I got my smart lab. I had it clipped to my shirt. I went on broker's tour, saw those really cool houses perched up on the hill, ugly as shit from the front. Like, but when you got into it, dude, wood, raw beams, huge panes of glass, 180 degree views. I didn't ask the agent to do a video. I said, hey, I'm going to do a video of your house. I'm going to interview you. Don't move. And she's like, what? Oh, okay. And I ended up going in. I did a video and I showcased everybody answering people's questions. People loved it. I went and I did an interview with her really quickly, and she didn't know what to expect, but then she loved it so much she asked me for the link because she shared it with all of her friends. It was really, really cool. And the agents really don't fight you on it. I got to tell you.
They don't. Like, look, guys, most real estate agents came from a job. They've got no idea what they're doing, which is why the MLS sells most of their houses.
Very true.
Just ask. Like, they're going to be blown away with the marketing. And furthermore, it gives you the opportunity to do like step 2 of this to win listings. You can take all the data that you just curated, right? Your listing reached 12,000 buyers and 100 people opted in to see it, and you got 2 or 3 buyers that you're working with showing houses. How powerful is that when you walk into a listing presentation when every Joe Blow in your markets walked in the door and said, this is what I can do for you? Practically nothing. Just pay 10%.
Practically nothing.
and
don't
you
worry,
say,
I've got my yard sign in the back. It's gonna go up in a year. As soon as I leave, we're putting up that yard sign. Man, it's a nice looking yard sign.
If you can't tell, I'm pissed off at like 90% of the industry, but
that's all right.
That's funny.
Walk into a listing presentation and be like, look, this is how we market our business. This is how we're going to market your property. We're going to immediately put your property up. Yeah, we're going to immediately put your property up in front of 12,000 buyers.
He goes in there, he lays out exactly what their Facebook marketing strategy is. I mean, it just absolutely blows people's minds. Like people, I have a
guy. He stepped into our mastermind, some of our highest level stuff, and he went from making less than $5,000 a month. Mm-hmm. He went, shifted some things around, fired all of his non-producing agents, and just started doing the marketing himself. He walks into every listing presentation with just what he does on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Now pulls in over $25,000 a month net. And it's all from just telling people how he does stuff on Facebook. And they're in a market right now where the houses are selling like every 2 or 3 days. He doesn't even have to implement the Facebook stuff. But people are so blown away with it.
Wow. Right.
People are so blown away with it because that's where the attention is. Facebook has it, right? Mm-hmm. If when you walked in the house, that homeowner was scrolling Facebook, waiting for you to get your stuff done so that they could go back to scrolling Facebook, so they could spend time with their family at night. And when their kids were bugging the shit out of them, they could scroll Facebook. And then whenever they started watching TV with their spouse, they'll wait till the commercial break to scroll Facebook. Like, wake the hell up.
It's so true. Oh my God, it's so true.
Oh man.
And I think that a lot of the people that like you're talking about, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon. Well, I just, I don't know these numbers, but I mean, a huge number of people that are doing certain types of marketing in the industry, they have shied away from doing Facebook on an epically high level because they're afraid of the technology. Some of the average agents are a little bit older than some of us that are a little bit on the younger side. And are you seeing a bigger insurgence of the older clientele or the older agents or the younger agents coming to you to life hack? Because, I mean, I think that everybody should be doing some form of this because, like you said, everybody's on Facebook. I mean, it's just the way it is.
It really varies. It truly does. We see a lot of the older generation real estate agent trying to stay relevant, right? Good business practice, trying to stay relevant, and they know where the attention's at, and they're going to live where it's at. We've got a lot of older demographic agents in our business. We have a lot of the agents, like a huge percent of our agents are like 35 to 50, and it's a lot of that. Middle-aged real estate agents just trying to figure it out, trying to make sure that they're doing the right thing. Just figuring out that, hey, I can market on Facebook, or they've tried it, failed. They're just looking for the answers. We really see that middle-aged agents kind of a lot of who our client is, but you do see it. And I commend the older generation of real estate agents that are just trying to stay relevant and understand that, to grow a business, you have to evolve with the times, which is what a lot of people refuse to do. And, they come in and they win. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to be a billionaire. You don't have to spend $1 million a month on Facebook ads. You should see some of the landing pages that our clients develop, right? It looks like a kid drew it on a piece of paper, and it converts, right? It converts. It's all that matters, right? It's all, it's like all that matters at all is that it doesn't matter what it looks like right now. It doesn't matter how good you are, how bad you are. This is where the attention is, which is why we can print 50 to $1.50 leads, and you can go out and build a business for far less money than you've ever been able to.
Well, Tina and Chris are both commenting in here that they use your systems. Chris Young is saying that he uses GW strategies personally, raking in the leads by the shovelful daily, by the way.
Chris, my man, Chris.
Yeah. Tina Sinclair uses systems as well.
Tina, I love you to death. Tina is a beautiful, beautiful person, and she has an amazing story. Tina was a nurse. I don't know if anybody here knows this, but she was a part-time nurse, stepped into real estate, used a lot of the strategies that we showed her. She can correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, under $2,000 in 2015, and it made her one of the top producing real estate agents in her office statewide, Exit Realty statewide, all in less than a year. Tina, love you to death. Glad you're on here.
So that's $2,000 for 12 months or $2,000 a month?
For 12 months.
Holy Christ.
Her cost of acquisition, whenever I calculated it, meaning she could spend X amount of dollars and she would acquire a new client that got her a commission check, was $20. And every $20
that is a lead in San Diego. That is one lead.
Oh, actually, guys, Tina did correct us. It was $1,236, so well below $2,000.
Yeah, there you
go. Tina, I have lead envy. I'm
lead envy.
Everybody in our program walks in, is like, I want to be like Tina. How do I do what Tina does? How can I get what Tina's doing?
That's awesome.
Tell them to convert better.
Yeah, no joke. Well, it was funny, and I'm going to tell on you a little bit, Tina, here, because I met Tina at a conference that we put on in Orlando. And she had not even been calling her leads. They were calling her. Wow, and finally I was like, if you pick up the phone, you could do so much more business. And she did. She walked into the lobby and picked up a doctor client. She immediately started talking to people. And,
wait a minute. She actually talked to another human? That was a part of this whole lead gen?
Yeah.
Dating. I can't hide behind my
people don't go from Facebook to just emailing me that they want to list their home with me. I don't understand.
I'm so weird.
All right. Well, let's get into now. I'm going to start asking some questions for me. How about that? Because I want to get into some detailed stuff. So, Grant, tell me this. So, you work with people in different parts of the country. So, when you have the new clients come in, do you ever have that where you think, okay, we're going to use this tried and true call to action, and it just falls on its face? Is there enough of a difference in regions of the country to where you have to be a little bit careful, or you have to be more strategic in testing out your calls to action, or do we have some basics that pretty much work everywhere?
So one of the things that we've been able to really do is create a science out of this process. So no matter when you come in, you're going to implement the same strategy that the rest of the clients that we've had walk through the doors have implemented first, right? We're going to show you the best performing campaign first. We want you to get it in your business.
Okay.
And the way that we teach and educate is really systematic. And it's not like, hey, go put out a list of homes for $200,000. So we don't say you go do that, right? Because in San Diego, the median's close to 700, and in BFE Alabama, the median's 80. So it's more specific to median price points in your markets.
Okay.
So we teach hey, go out, figure out what the median is, because the median signifies what? It signifies the highest turnover point in the marketplace. That's where all of the product is moving. go there. I got a buddy that says you should always strive to do the easy thing, knock out third graders, just make it as easy as possible, right?
Wow. Just cold clock third graders.
That makes for a very like a really short zombie movie if all the zombies are just third graders. I can just pop them off. And...
do the
all right, anyway.
easiest thing possible. That's the metaphor.
That is true, though.
Possible. So
Yes.
find the highest turnover points in the marketplace. Typically, if our ad for some reason doesn't perform, that we've specifically taught you, it's a pricing issue. And now, obviously, with more luxury pricing comes more luxury lead costs, right? You're not going to get the dollar leads. You're going to get the $8 leads. You're going to get the $12 leads. You're going to get higher price leads, right? But if you stand to make $20,000 on a transaction, how much are you willing to invest to make that $20,000? Right? It's an investment principle. It's economics. It's nothing more than that.
Yeah, it's something Dan Kennedy practically yelled about in his book. Doctors, chiropractors, people that deliver professional services that yell and complain about. He was talking about the Valpak coupons back in the day.
Yeah.
He asked this guy, he's like, one of his clients wanted to discontinue the Valpak coupons that Kennedy was writing for him. He was spending like $150 to acquire a client. He's like, dude, like it's costing me $150 to acquire a client. Kennedy asked him, how much is it worth to you over the long term? Like, well, about $5,000. He's like, wow. And I think Dan Kennedy's head just exploded. Like, it's like, yeah.
I had a client that came to us and she was wanting to sell out our event, and the event tickets were like $2,000. I said, how much are you willing to invest? We went out and got her ticket registrants for, I think it was just under $400.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we can sell out your event. We just need to invest a little over $12,000 in marketing and your event's going to sell out. And she's like, I don't really want to do that. I was like, but you stand to make like well over $100,000. Like what? This is investing. This is simple mathematics. It's not much harder than that. And that's one of the things that we tell people, like business is personal development. You need to be a decent human being, and it's math. Understand the basic economics of your business. It's nothing more than that. Understand that you can spend $20 to acquire a client. Spend that $20 as fast as you possibly can, while you can. Right? When you find gold, right? You're mining. You don't find the gold and be like, man, that was freaking awesome. All right, I'm gonna go look for some more. You dig that shit up until there is no more. Right?
I found it. I gotta go leave now.
Right.
Bye bye.
Like, hang on, I'm gonna go down the hill here and look for some.
They'll come into our trainings. They'll come to our programs, and they'll invest, and they'll sell a client, and they'll never do it again. They'll pick it up. They'll drop it. Done.
What?
I accomplished that. That was really cool. I'm gonna go back to what I've always been doing, and.
Shiny object, yeah.
Actually,
horrible.
It's something that I always laugh at myself about. I always say, you know what? It works so well, I quit doing it.
Yeah.
And it's you just think like, how mentally retarded am I? I mean, it's like I found the keys to the kingdom, but I don't want to go to the kingdom anymore. But I'm going to go around the back and try to go to the back door, but the back door is blocked with boulders. It's like, shit, man, you had a key to the front door.
Yeah.
Stop stopping yourself.
Well, and
I always
David
tell
made a
people
good point. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I always tell people too, like, look, this is success. As you stand there right now, as you live and breathe, you are the embodiment of success. You are a wall, right? And a train moving down the tracks is the embodiment of success. It is barreling for you, and it's coming for all of us. But you're the wall. You're the prohibitor. You're the one that's going to stop the success from happening. And if you can stand there all you want to, if you just get the hell out of your own way and let success do what it wants to do, your life would be completely different in 3 months. Like
Wow.
It's not difficult. I think we just like to make it very difficult so that we can say it's really hard. It's really this. It's really that. Look, guys, building a real estate company is not hard.
But like you said, like I had Josh Bryan, what up, players watching right now. He was out here on Saturday, newer in the business, but is absolutely crushing it, using online, just like you're talking about with another system. But Grant, the one thing that we talked about, like we talked about in the show, he says, it's so epically easy to make money in this business. But here's the one thing that nobody does. They're consistent. If you're consistent and a buffoon, you can make a really good living in this business. If you're consistent and a genius, you'll make a fortune in this business. But consistency, that's the single most important thing. You can say everything wrong, but if you're consistent, you're going to get business dropped into your lap. Guys, take that away when what we're talking about with Grant. Grant has proven to you, the people in the comments have proven to you that what he's talking about works. But, Melissa's got a question here. Matt, do you see that question here? They have.
Yeah, I do. This is a very specific one, so I don't know if I want to bring
But
this.
no, I want it because it has to do about my market too.
All right, here we go. All right, so Melissa says, "Hey, I live in Doylestown, 45 minutes of Philadelphia. I have 500 houses around my backyard. Median price is around 600 grand. I have to circulate a powerful Facebook ad for sellers because we have no inventory. This is vital for me to attract sellers. Buyers I have, so she's looking for a seller generation ad." For west of Philadelphia, $600,000. So just in terms of like what generates seller leads on Facebook, because I've heard people make the comment like, you know, hey, if you want to generate buyer leads, Google pay-per-click, that's where it's at. If you want to generate seller leads, Facebook is where it's at. So I've heard people say good things about generating seller leads on Facebook. What's the experience been like for you, and what would you recommend?
I have very specific strategies for generating seller leads, and a lot of it comes in the format of education. I think that guides do an exceptional job at converting sellers into clients, because at the end of the day, I think building service-based businesses are one of the easiest things on the planet to do. You just have to go teach and educate, and then justify why they should let you do it instead, right? And as real estate agents, you have so much proof validating why they should let you do it instead. Look at that, Melissa. Look at what type of guide you could put together to go out and teach and educate, and then simply justify why they should let you do it instead. You know, we have sellers guide funnels that we put together that have essentially automated the sales process. Much like I try and do in my own business, I only want to speak to people that are ready to close, right? I think that we all do. And if you look at the real estate industry as a whole, you could do 10, 15 seller presentations a week. If you were good, right? If you had a lot of stuff going on, that's 10 to 15 hours you're never going to get back selling. Do all the selling on the front end before you ever meet somebody. Let them make a decision before you ever talk to them. So then when you are talking, it's closing time. I'm coming to your house to sign documents. I'm not coming to your house to tell you what I do and how I do it, right?
Yeah.
I think that educating the prospect on what sets you apart in and of itself, because nobody else is willing to do it, is going to set you apart. When the real estate agent gets chosen 86% of the time first, be first. Put your process out there. Let people fall in love with it, because that speed will set you apart, will get you listings, will get you out there and get you ranked. Now, another thing that you can do, which is really gangster with Facebook, is you can leverage all of the expired and FSBO data. I call it my sniper strategy. I literally, to prove that this worked, I targeted my buddy's house the other day in a Facebook ad, and I literally wrote, "Hey, Dan, if you see this, screenshot it and send it to me." He screenshot it about an hour later and he sent it to me.
No way.
Yeah, you can geo-target using Facebook ads. So you can take all of that expired data, all of that FSBO data, you can load it into Facebook, and you can exclusively market to the people that are selling their house. Everything is right there, guys. You can do it all. It's just kind of understanding how to make all that work. But to answer your question, Melissa, guides are a brilliant strategy to getting you more opportunities with sellers.
Which is stuff this goes back to Dean Jackson days. I mean, this is stuff that's worked since the early 90s, before the internet existed. So that's when you're talking about taking things that worked offline, that's some of the stuff you're talking about. And I love that you bring that up. Who was it? What is it? Joe Polish had the best definition of the difference between sales and marketing. Remember that? Did something to the effect of sales is what you do when you are on the phone or in front of a prospect. Marketing is everything that you do before that to get that person pre-interested, predisposed, and essentially pre-decided to work with you before you even show up. So if you have the right Instagram, when you're talking about a funnel, what he's talking about is offering information and then following that up with more information that educates, conditions, and indoctrinates someone to get essentially to buy from you rather than from somebody else, so that when you show up to the listing presentation, they've already made the bulk of their decision-making process. That's already taken place before you show up. I think the statistic right now is that most business purchase decisions, about 60% of the decision is made before they ever hit a salesperson. On the consumer side, Grant, I bet I would think 80% of the decision-making process is made before you even show up.
Absolutely. And that's good for us. How many of you guys get screwed up in the head when somebody says, "I'm going to do business with you," and then they don't, right?
Yeah.
How many of you built your entire business on promises? I just know that if I close these 6 deals that this person told me I was going to get from them, I'm going to make at least $1 bajillion this month, and I'm going to be able to feed my family, right? How many of you have built your business on empty promises? I would much rather only communicate with people that have been through a predetermined process before I talk to them, before I ever spoke with them. Let them make their decision. because you know what? The person that's going to make their decision about you, they're going to do it. So do you want to do it while you're standing in front of them for an hour? And then they figure out, oh, I don't really like this person. I don't think I want to do business with them. Or do you want to let them make their decisions silently? Let them do them. You don't ever have to worry about them. You're only communicating with people that want to do business with you. I don't want to talk to people. Like we generate 20 to 30 appointments a day for our sales team for Modern Agent Mastery alone. We only want to communicate with people that have been through. Our process is like 2 hours. You got to watch an hour-long video. You got to watch case studies. You got to watch all kinds of stuff before you can ever get on the phone with anybody that's going to even talk about letting you into the family, right? Would you rather, if I was going to go out and build a business the opposite, I'd literally have to go out and talk to thousands of people. My email list is over 18,000 people that have shown interest in me. Well, there's no possible way I could talk to those people, all of those people at once, just to even figure out if they like me or not. Like, put systems and processes in place that allow your business to grow while you're playing golf or hanging with the family or whatever, this thing that's always turning. It's an engine. And spend your time, your incredibly valuable, precious time, only communicating with people that want to do business with you.
Well, you see, that's so foreign to the majority of real estate agents, because the older agents, you know, they basically used to just browbeat the market, which I'm very good at. I got a huge club, but I'm tired of using this fucking club. I would have much rather open the door and hand my client a beer. Like, hi, you like me already. Here's a beer. Let's hang out.
Right.
Let's figure out what we need to do, instead of like, work with me. And they're like, no.
Here's the problem, Greg, is you don't like follow up. You don't like following up with leads.
I do like follow up. I do.
Uh-huh.
Hey man, like you can still browbeat people. Just make them want it first. Simple as that. You know, put systems in place so that the people that want to get browbeat jump on the phone with you. Like, we have clients all the time that some of our highest level students, we get on the phone and we chew these people out and they like ask for it. Like, please beat me over the head, because it's exactly what I need. You can really get your clients to do whatever it is that you want them to do. It's just directing them. And look, we live in this year. It's what is it? It's 2017, right? And most people are marketing like it's 1990.
Yep.
We don't want the cold call. And Greg, you may be different, but if I pick up the phone and cold call you, try and sell you my product, you're probably gonna tell me to fuck off, right?
Oh, I'll tell you to fuck off for sure.
And if I show up at your door, you're probably gonna be like, "What in the hell are you doing here?" If you don't strike me as the guy that's going to get up from this and run home and check his spam junk mail, right?
No.
We are teaching, and I'm not gonna say we, because I sure as hell I'm not doing this shit, but brokers are teaching people to go do all the things that they personally hate, right? All across America, all across the world today, a broker told somebody to go cold call somebody. And guess what? When his phone rang while he was telling them that, he probably said, fuck telemarketers, I hate those guys, right? All across the world, somebody's saying, hey, go out there and door knock, beat the streets, because it's going to happen for you. They go home, somebody knocks on their door. Who in the living hell is at my doorstep right now? Like, they're giving advice that they don't even follow as a consumer, but they're using it as best business practice. Like, it doesn't make any damn sense. Like, what in the hell is going on? Seriously. We live in an age where people want to make their own decisions, learn how to market, and learn how to sell people without ever talking to them. That way, whenever you finally do interact, it's to do business, not to waste your time and energy selling.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true. I mean, I am a sick individual. I take medication for this, but I do actually enjoy doing the calls. I like teaching people how to do it, because if they have no money to do anything, then it's a foundation builder. But I totally understand where you're coming from on this. I went out door knocking yesterday and met some really cool people, but I didn't pick up a lead. I was talking about a success. So there's different reasons for different methods, but to make your life easy and have the inflow of leads from what is, I mean, it's not going away, guys. The web's not going anywhere. Social media is definitely not going anywhere. You know, people always thought that Facebook couldn't monetize their mobile devices when they went IPO, and like, oh, it's not going to be around. I'm like, bullshit, it's not going to be around. That shit is just growing. I mean, it's going to find a way, and it's evident now. I mean, you have a choice. You have a choice right now to make for your business. And I made a decision a while back with another individual that he's going to start doing a lot of my social media for me. He's going to do the same thing that Grant does. We're going to be bringing leads into us. Then we can then take and push them back out to our team. We can see the revenue continue, and we can help a lot of families. It's your choice. You can toil away, or you can just make the leads come to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you. It's really up to you. But at the end of the day, your family and your wallet are going to thank you for making the wise decision. And that's going, and for once, it's going down the easy path. Okay. Everyone says, well, the easy way is you're not going to be the right way. Fuck you. Yeah, it is. I mean, that's the money way.
It definitely can be. I mean, that's the thing is, I mean, you listen to guys like Joe Polish talk, and they talk all the time about building a business that's easy, lucrative, and fun. Like, just because something is hard doesn't make it the right path.
Exactly right. Exactly right. We had a question. Do you work with expireds and for sales by owners? Do you tackle that market very much?
Yeah, so like I was talking about in our sniper strategy, we show you guys how you can put an expired physical mailing address into Facebook's targeting demographic, and you can only serve up your ads to people that live around that address, which is another great thing for circle prospecting, for open houses, for a number of other different strategies. Facebook's geo-targeting tool is awesome. Awesome. I was at Inman Connect in San Francisco last year in June. We had a booth there, and Gary Vaynerchuk came out and spoke. Greg, I saw you. I don't know that I met you, but I saw you.
Yeah, I was there.
And Gary Vaynerchuk spoke right at the event at Inman in June, and he said, if you're not spending at least $1,000 in Facebook ads, your business is laughable. Okay, so what I did is I got up out of my chair, I walked back to my booth, I grabbed a picture of Gary, and I made a meme. Said if you're not spending at least $1,000 of Facebook ads, your business is laughable. I geo-targeted that to every real estate agent standing in the building, and I said, screenshot this if you see it. Come over here, and I'll show you how you can market expireds the same way that I'm marketing to you. I had people that are flying over to the booth like, hey, how'd you do this? How'd you do this? How'd you do this? Wow. All I did was market to the address. Marketing is messaging. I had a very specific Facebook message that if you were a real estate agent, you were going to see it. And hey, we did business, right? You can do the exact same thing to your expireds. The things that you're saying to them on the phone, the things that you're sending in postcards. We have postcard strategies that we use for just solds, expireds, all those different types of things. Bring those strategies online. Because if you go out and mail, I talked to somebody about this for open houses the other day. Wanted to tell everybody in the neighborhood that they were going to have an open house. They were going to send out a postcard strategy, $500.
Okay. They
geo-targeted a Facebook ad just to the neighborhood, said, hey, we're having a party. It cost them like $20, and they increased their foot traffic substantially. The marketing money that you can save, but there's so many cool features, right, guys? It took me 3 years to get to the knowledge that I have now, and I'm not going to be able to drop it all in an hour. But I could sit here and go for days about the cool things that you can utilize in Facebook. The most important thing is that you just start. You start doing something with Facebook in your business to start bringing leads to you, so that you get your sanity back. I was talking to a guy the other day that cold called for like a decade, and he ended up having a heart attack. Ugh. And he literally blamed cold calling because of all the psyching himself up he had to do because of the stress. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, and I'm not knocking you guys.
Which Mike Ferry mastermind was he in? Sorry, just had to throw that out there.
Awesome.
I'm not knocking the strategy, guys. I'm not knocking what you're doing. I'm just saying, look. Knock out third graders, right? Do the easy thing to grow your business. Do the easy thing to go out there and make money.
Dude, I'm gonna make a meme about you with the screenshot from
actual third graders. I mean, they have lunch money, right? I mean, let's go out and do this thing.
I'm down with this. So we got to wrap this thing up. But Matt, we've got to get this man back on here. There's just too much knowledge. We've had incredible engagement. People are thirsty for what you have to offer and knowledge. So in time, because Facebook gets real bitchy if we stay on too long. Dude, where can they find you, man?
Guys, go to likegrantwise.com right now. You can check me out. You can read more about me, hear more of my story. You'll be able to see how you can connect with me on any social platform, and you'll be able to, it'll introduce you as well to a lot of the programs that we have, specifically how you guys can start using Facebook to grow up your business.
That is awesome. This has been epic content. Matt, are you still with us or not?
Yeah, of course. Why?
Oh, because you're not showing up. You keep cutting out on your image. But guys, we're going to get out of here. This is awesome for all of you guys that are first time seeing us. This is Real Estate Uncensored. Please follow me on Facebook, Greg McDaniel in Danville. You'll see this ugly mug. Just click on it and you can follow me so you can see the live lead gen that Grant has just beaten like a redheaded stepchild on this show. You can watch me do that live. You can also watch the shows that I do, and you can watch other podcasts that Matt and I put out there. So go follow me on Facebook, guys. Matt, where are they? Oh, yeah, they can find me at McDanielCallahan.realestate for Instagram if you want to watch me poor attempt of Instagram marketing. Matt,
all right,
where
you can
are
find
you?
me on I am pursuing results across all platforms. And guys, subscribe to the show. Go to iTunes, go to Stitcher, or subscribe on YouTube. And yeah, if you want to get Greg's all of Greg's favorite scripts for his prospecting, if that's something that you want to do to understand what to say in various situations, not just in prospecting, but also in client management, how to deal with your clients, how to get them to make better offers, etc. There's a lot of great scripts. Just go to myfavoritescripts.com, pop in your email there. You will get it for free. All right, guys. With that said, let's put a nice little bow on this one. Thank you so much, Grant. This was awesome. We'll have you back again in the very, very near future. And everybody else who's watching and commenting and interacting on Facebook, we really appreciate it, guys. We'll see you next time.
Love you guys. See ya.